Welcome to our presentation, the 4% Retirement Withdrawal Rule. This presentation is brought to you by Higgins Capital. Now let's dive into the world of retirement planning. Ever heard of the 4% rule? It's a popular guideline many people follow when planning their retirement income. This rule, established in the early 90s, suggests that if you withdraw 4% of your retirement funds in the first year, and then adjust that amount for inflation each year thereafter, your money should last for about 30 years. But remember, this is just a guideline, not a hard and fast rule. It's a starting point, intended to help simplify the complex task of planning for retirement. Like any guideline, it has its advantages and limitations which we'll explore in the next scenes. Understanding the 4% rule can be a useful starting point for planning your retirement income. Now that we know what the 4% rule is, let's explore its advantages and disadvantages. The 4% rule, like any financial strategy, comes with its pros and cons. On the bright side, it's simple and straightforward. It provides a clear starting point for retirement planning and can offer a sense of security. By following this rule, you can calculate how much you can withdraw each year from your retirement savings without exhausting your nest egg prematurely. But as with all things finance, there's no magic bullet. The 4% rule isn't without its drawbacks. One significant issue is market volatility. If the market takes a downturn early in your retirement, it can lead to disproportionate losses in your portfolio, which can make the 4% rule less effective. Unexpected expenses are another potential pitfall. The 4% rule doesn't factor in sudden, unforeseen costs that can arise in retirement, such as home repairs or healthcare emergencies. These can significantly impact your savings and disrupt the 4% withdrawal plan. Then there's the issue of individual differences. We're all unique with different life expectancies, healthcare costs, and lifestyle choices. The 4% rule doesn't account for these variations. If you live longer than average, or if your healthcare costs are higher, you might deplete your savings faster than anticipated. The 4% rule also doesn't consider your personal risk tolerance. Some people might be comfortable with the potential risk of running out of money, while others might find it anxiety-inducing. It's essential to adjust your withdrawal rate to match your comfort level with risk. Finally, the rule is rigid and might not adapt well to changes in the economy or personal circumstances. For instance, during periods of high inflation, a fixed 4% withdrawal might not provide enough income to maintain your lifestyle. The 4% rule is not a one-size-fits-all solution, but a tool that can be adjusted based on individual circumstances. It's essential to understand these pros and cons and consider alternatives or adjustments to the 4% rule that might better suit your retirement goals and personal situation. Given the limitations of the 4% rule, flexibility plays a crucial role in utilizing it effectively. You see, the 4% rule isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. It's a guideline, a starting point if you will, and it needs to be tailored to your unique circumstances. Let's talk about volatile markets, for instance. Market downturns can severely impact your portfolio's value, and sticking rigidly to the 4% rule during these times might not be the best strategy. Instead, consider adjusting your withdrawal rate in response to market fluctuations. But how do you decide when and how much to adjust? Well, that's where your personal risk tolerance comes into play. If you're someone who can sleep soundly despite the roller coaster ride of the stock market, you might be comfortable maintaining the 4% withdrawal rate. But if market volatility keeps you up at night, you might want to reduce your withdrawal rate during down markets to preserve your portfolio. Remember, the goal of the 4% rule is to provide a sustainable income throughout retirement. So, it's important to balance the need for current income with the need to preserve your portfolio for the future. Adapting the 4% rule to your unique situation can make it a more effective tool for retirement planning. After all, successful retirement planning is less about strictly adhering to rules and more about making smart, flexible decisions that suit your individual needs and circumstances. Let's look at a practical example of how to apply the 4% rule using $1 million portfolio. If you start withdrawing 4%, that's $40,000 in the first year of retirement, and then adjust it for inflation each year, you'd have a steady stream of income. But remember, the market isn't always steady. Imagine if a major market downturn occurs early in your retirement. If you continue withdrawing the same amount, you'll deplete your portfolio faster than anticipated. This is what we mean when we say the blind application of the 4% rule can be risky. So, what can you do to ensure success? First, be flexible. Adjust your withdrawal rate depending on the market's performance. In a down market, consider reducing your withdrawal rate, or even temporarily halting it if you have other income sources. Second, avoid the common mistake of overspending early in retirement. It's easy to get carried away with newfound freedom, but remember, your portfolio needs to last potentially for decades. Third, be mindful of unexpected expenses such as healthcare costs. These could significantly impact your withdrawal rate and longevity of your portfolio. Finally, know your risk tolerance. If market volatility keeps you up at night, you might need a more conservative withdrawal strategy. The 4% rule can be a helpful guideline for retirement income, but it's essential to adjust it based on your individual circumstances and market conditions. To wrap up, let's summarize the key points we've discussed about the 4% rule. It's a guideline for retirement withdrawals, balancing growth and longevity. But remember, it's not one size fits all. Pros include simplicity and potential for lasting wealth. Cons involve market volatility and unexpected expenses. Flexibility is crucial. Adjusting to your personal risk tolerance, healthcare costs, and market conditions can help ensure success. By understanding and wisely applying the 4% rule, you can plan a more secure and comfortable retirement.